J.K. Rowling encourages Britons to vote for the Communist Party. Oh yeah, I saw this. Is this the Trotskyist Communist Party, the one that's primarily concerned with being conservative? It's like MAGA communism, basically, except for Britain. Not that one. Is that a different one? I'm sorry, did we just blip into a different timeline? No. There are like 4 different communist parties in the UK, and they're all worthless. Yeah. Communist Party candidate and University of Edinburgh academic Richard Shilcock made the statement pledging support for recognizing the nature of biological sex, defending sex-based rights, and signal sex services and sports, changing the Equality Act such that sex means biological sex, and for calm, comprehensive discussion of these issues. Silly country? Yeah. He added of the Communist Party, we oppose gender self-identification and the new gender ideology. We oppose all forms of conversion therapy applied to lesbian and gay people and oppose including trans identities in such a ban. Refer to the Cass report as authoritative. I didn't even talk about that, man. You know, the NHS was covering up a wave of suicides after the Cass report was adopted and like promoted. They like actively attempted to cover it up, didn't they? Aaron in the Morning, as always, the premier source on all matters trans. Whistleblowers alleged the NHS in Great Britain covered up a large spike in suicides after restrictions on trans care. The number of suicides appears to have been omitted from the Cass review. Not entirely what I'm talking about at the moment, but like in terms of its effect. That social violence, yeah, you know, social murder is the only kind of murder that is okay, actually. It's this party. They're also those weird anti-sex work type of MLs. They're just conservatives, you know? Phenomenal stuff, really. They released this statement. You guys are giving me a lot of links right now. Yeah, this is the thing that's being reported on right here. This is what you're looking for, re-suicide cover-ups. I've now seen further evidence that since the Bell decision in the High Court, 1st of December 2020, there has been a huge increase in deaths of young trans people on the NHS waiting list. Okay, the Bell decision then. Are we not referring to the... Okay, then it wasn't following the Cass report. It was omitted from the Cass report following the Bell decision. And that was some years ago. Okay. This was the 2021 ruling. The 2020 ruling, actually. I don't know why I just spoke like Alan there for a second. So there was a spike since then that was omitted from the report. Like they didn't want to have that included because it would be an indication that the trans people, which they are like pretending they're doing all of this for, actually having worse lives on account of their restrictive policies. The Bell decision was a detransitioner suing the NHS. No, I remember it. I mean, I covered it when it happened. I just, yeah, it makes sense then because they would have more time has passed since that happened, which they could use as an indicator of the spike in suicides. Prior to the 2020 Bell ruling, only 1 young trans person died from suicide in 7 years, and that since the ruling, there have been 16 deaths. Jesus. That's a significant increase in the proportional rate. And if that sounds like a low sample size to you, please remember that entire policies are being written off of like one detransitioner, not even committing suicide, but being like, yeah, I regret the decision that I as an adult made with my doctor, you know? The incoming Labour government is going to consult with J.K. Rowling on gender policy. Jesus Christ. Author responds after Shadow Chancellor says party would be really happy to give her assurances. Why do you have to give the billionaire hate mongerer assurances? What do you owe her? I'm telling you, man, it's entirely because it's a dead country. They have nothing. Completely, like no cultural product. London only generates money for London because it's like a place where people juggle money around. So J.K. Rowling is one of the only actual cultural exporters left in the country, and they'll do anything to kowtow to her. John Oliver just did a huge piece on why the Tories are horrible and didn't address Labour at all. Yeah, I hate to pull out this card a second time. I wonder if the Labour Party would actually be worse on trans issues than the Tories, purely because the Tories are so incompetent that they can't get a lot done. You liar, yes, he did address it. Uh-oh. Chat battle. Labour basically said they would do Section 28 again for trans kids. It's so disgusting. Yeah. But Rowling said, here, J.K. Rowling has agreed to give a meeting with Labour after Rachel Reeves said the party would be really happy to give her assurances over its plans to change the process through which people can legally change gender. Insane. Insane that the shadow health minister of a party basically guaranteed to win the coming election feels the need to give assurances to one random billionaire. Like, absolutely, like, genuinely psychotic. Why? You're the government. She's not. Speaking in Scotland, Reeves said protection for women's only spaces would absolutely stay, adding, "We're not going to be changing anything around biological sex. We're really happy to talk to J.K. Rowling to give her assurances about that." But Rowling said her meeting was conditional. Rowling got to decide the conditions. Unbelievable. You're talking to the soon-to-be health minister, and you are setting conditions for them. Rowling said the meeting was conditional on Labour first meeting a series of groups from across the UK that she supported. Sorry, you can only pledge your support to me, an unelected billionaire, after meeting like the 50 TERF like groups that I am associated with. Incredible. Rachel Reeves will be Chancellor. West Reading will be Health Secretary. Did it not say? Oh, Shadow Chancellor. Sorry, I don't know why I read in my mind Shadow Health Secretary. Either way, I mean, every point here stands, but yes. The Shadow Chancellor made the offer to meet the author, and former Labour donor on Monday after Rowling said she would, quote, struggle to support the party in the next week's general election. Well, there you go, folks, you know. In order to why do you think she would give you the money? You know she's going to end up giving money to like reform or something, right? Like you, maybe not this time, but next time. Like you, there's no way you can. She will always gravitate towards the most transphobic like outlet for her interest. You know, she's done Holocaust denial, man. It's not like she's opposed to the far right. She loves the far right. She loves the far right. Tempting as it is, no Fed posting. What an empty life she lives. Thanks, Pluton Hertz. Fake feminist. Yeah, like I've said before, I really do think it's important to remember that TERFs basically don't exist as a group. Like, J.K. Rowling's not a feminist. She doesn't push for any feminist causes. She was basically silent when Roe v. Wade was overturned here in America because the people who overturned it are also transphobic. Like, she's allied with and constantly supports far-right people. Like, on every, she doesn't do anything feminist. She just talks about women's rights when targeting trans people. That's not, like, that's entirely superficial, you know? I really cannot overstate how important I think it is if you are transgender to not be in this country. I know that moving is expensive. I'm just saying, like, man, they're telling you you got to hit the bricks. Some good news, her Nazi friend Posey Parker was kicked out of Britain today. Sorry, Brighton today by anti-fascists. Kelly J. Keane Minshall, Posey Parker runs away from her own fascist rally as she's outnumbered 3-1 by counter-protesters. Nice. I'm sure I could investigate this further, but I choose not to. Remember when I said J.K. Rowling should shut up and start apologizing, and it began like a 6-week hate tour against me from the entire online left because, like, were it not for my optically damaging behavior, we might yet make progress on this issue. You were always right on this. It's crazy, man. Oh, hey, Lemiru. Still hating you about it? Yeah, okay, well, you're permitted to. Okay, you've got a blue name, Lemiru. They were deliberately missing the point. It's genuinely crazy. Like, can you imagine if a trans woman on Twitter was like, J.K. Rowling, f that bitch, and J.K. Rowling quote tweeted them and was like, wow, calling a real woman a bitch? How typical for a man. And then everyone on the left was like, yeah, you shouldn't call her a bitch, you know? You shouldn't call her a bitch. That's like misogynistic, and you know that. Like, you shouldn't have done that. I don't know why you would like enable her talking points and make things easier for her. Like, nobody would do that. Motherfucker just hated me. God damn it. It's crazy. They literally like sided with JKR's take on the situation over mine. Me, man. Maybe I should transition just to like throw the wrench in the machine. You know what I mean? Really, really throw them for a loop. Okay. You're gonna hate me now? Well, everything you do now is transphobic. Okay. I'm gonna talk about how like all of the problematic things I ever did was just me like struggling with my identity. I could just give me a line, man. I'm still mad about the JKR thing. I'm gonna pull a Destiny, okay? I'm gonna be like, actually, my pronouns are. Yeah. Turns out being autistic doesn't get you the leeway I thought it would in the overall like hierarchy of you know, disingenuously navigating online discourse. You know, sadly, it didn't work for Destiny. You're telling me that Destiny isn't like celebrated as a hero for the progressive left online as a consequence of him leveraging his problematic moments as a consequence of his identity? Didn't work? Okay. That's crazy. He has blue hair and pronouns. Shows you how much that's worth these days. He doesn't have blue hair anymore. Really? Destiny needs to get a real job. Whoa! Streamer phobic. Hold on. Streaming is a real job. Okay, thank you. Okay. You saying streaming isn't a real job. Boing, hit Destiny, who will never see your comment. Live streamers who might be watching VGG at this moment. Like, come on, you know. A little bit problematic. Just think about how language like that might affect, you know, the people around you.